They shambling and gambling over there. Yeah, I wanna see it. YouTube. Not that one. What was it? It's a Payment Zero video, so
Yeah. It's probably like
just
a couple hours
subscriptions,
ago.
really. Yeah, because I was pretty sure they had dropped a bill about gambling. But I could just be wrong. It could have just been something else. Why won't this go away? Go away. Well, he said he just dropped a video. I wanted to just watch that one. F5. Yeah, no. I guess I just go to his channel. This one. Yeah, because I thought. Hold on.
Competition is a great, beautiful thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay.
Wait, the reason why you didn't find it is because you're not subscribed to him.
On this one, I'm not. I have like several channels. You want to sit back?
Yes.
You want to get comfortable?
Like, as we big old booty is in the way.
Hey, they call me Bootylicious for a reason. Bootylicious. But yeah, I was just interested to see what he says on this because he should clear it up. But I thought that it was illegal to be doing the loot drops, so they're bringing it back. How are they doing that? Maybe with the regulation cut in. We'll see.
Competition is a great, beautiful thing. Coke competing with Pepsi. Dick competing with balls.
Competition.
Competition is the best possible thing for consumers because then it leads to companies competing with each other to offer the best product, so you'll choose them over the competitors. When there is not a competitor, there's no incentive for the company to do anything different or be any better. It can just be complacent and stay the same. That is the story of Overwatch for the longest time.
Yeah, competition is good. That's a crazy pause face. Competition is good. I don't disagree with any of that. I don't see how. I mean, I guess I see how that applies to Overwatch, but loot boxes. How do we get there? I guess.
A game that's existed in this pitiful, stagnant lull, this holding pattern, this autopilot mode, staying idle, where it doesn't do anything because it doesn't need to do anything, because anyone that wants a hero shooter is going to play it because all of the competitors wither and die pretty quickly. Like Concord, for example.
Okay. So I get where he's going with this. So he's saying that Overwatch is a good game, but it's stagnated in its gameplay, but it's like the bare minimum for a good looter shooter. Or the I don't know. I don't play Overwatch. I don't like it. But I get what you're saying. Like Overwatch is good, but it needs competition to grow because it seems to be stagnating. Do you play Overwatch?
No, but I've seen some of the gameplay before.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is your take on the gameplay? Do you have a take on it? Do you know about loot boxes?
No,
Okay. Well,
I like asked you about it.
yeah, it's just like ways to buy items in the game or get items in the game, but they do it in a way where it's like gambling adjacent.
Example. So Overwatch didn't need to be better, but they did do a big push with that whole scam Overwatch 2, that load of baloney, where all they did was just put a 2 in the name and then not follow through on a single promise they ever made. Still no PvE ever coming to the game.
Yeah. So you don't know about that, but Overwatch made a game, and then it was like, okay, we're gonna do Overwatch 2 now, like a couple of years later. And they were like, Overwatch 2 is going to have all this stuff. It's going to have story mode, new characters, new gameplay. Then they released it and was like, here's Overwatch 2, but the story mode, we ain't done it yet. And it was like they changed up the dynamics of the system so much, but they made it worse. And then people were like, we don't like this. And so they were like, all right, we'll change it back. So they went up. They changed everything to make this Overwatch 2, and then Overwatch 2 just became Overwatch 1 Plus, and then all the extra stuff they actually said that was going to make Overwatch 2, they canned it, which was like some like the story mode, like I guess character stuff and like stuff like that to make the game a little more dynamic. They just canned it, so then Overwatch 2 just became Overwatch 1 Plus. It's crazy. Like you could have just made a giant update and called it a day, but whatever.
Right.
None of the promises being fulfilled. We don't need to go down this road. I've made fun of them plenty of times. I've thrown my fair share of tomatoes for that. But recently, there has been something that threatened the ecosystem a bit here of Overwatch. Marvel Rivals. And this is a very good thing for both Overwatch and Rivals. If you are the biggest fan of Marvel Rivals, you want Overwatch to get better because Overwatch getting better means it's going to force Rivals to get better in order.
Okay, I like Rivals. Have you played or watched Rivals?
Yeah, I almost thought it was kind of like the same scenario.
Yeah, they're very similar games. Okay. Yeah, that's the whole point. Because of the fact that they're in the same genre,
right? And
Rivals is so good, it then becomes a competing opponent for Overwatch.
Was Rivals more so the Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so Overwatch was trying to do its own thing. Marvel Rivals is just Marvel. There. Yeah, but and so he's saying that they're now like competing. So Overwatch should be getting better to now compete with Marvel Rivals because Marvel Rivals is good. I've heard. I've actually wanted to play a little bit of Marvel Rivals, but I never did. I downloaded it and I played like 5 seconds of it because it's a PvP game. I'm not getting into that. I don't like PvP games, but whatever.
I know that.
Yeah, it's not important to talk about because we're here for this.
In order to stay competitive in the market. And if you're a huge Overwatch fan, God rest your soul, good heavens, Lord have mercy. If you're the biggest Overwatch fan, you want Rivals to continue to do extraordinarily well because Rivals doing well is finally getting some actual tender love and care put into your game, making your game better to stay competitive in the market. Overwatch is finally doing something. You see, Overwatch is not good. In fact, it might be the worst thing possible. The only thing worse than Overwatch is death, and even that's pretty close. I don't like the game.
Okay, so he. Oh, that's crazy. Get the mouse right in his mouth there. Boom. Hold that joint open. He doesn't like my Overwatch. I don't play Overwatch. I liked the lore of Overwatch. I thought it was gonna be like really cool lore based, and I thought they were gonna have a lot of lore in the game. And I was like, oh, I'd watch. However, they trickled the lore out because I liked the lore stuff, but I never played the game, and I never liked the game play. But I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't experienced playing the game yet, so.
I can show you some videos. It's not. It's really basic. It's just really bright and colorful and shooter.
I just know that. Well, I've had an ex-boyfriend who was very into playing Overwatch, and it ended up like ruining our relationship. So I don't know. I never played it.
Yeah. Good thing you didn't hear about Genshin.
I've heard about Genshin. Isn't that kind of the same? It's almost like a gambling aspect.
It's a gacha game. It's a lot.
Well, yeah.
It's a bit different, but when they with
I thought they were
with
the
the
same.
loot box system, it kind of is the same. Without the loot box system, they're a lot. You can consider them different, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I used to love the game. I have close to like 600 hours in it for the first 3 seasons. I loved it. And then it just started getting stale, and it never got better. And it's been stale ever since. There was a little spark, like a little ignition in me that got me back in Overwatch for a bit with Overwatch 2 going to 5v5. I was like, oh, this is new and different. And even that wore off. And now, Overwatch 2 is basically just Overwatch 1 again, where they're slowly reintroducing everything from Overwatch 1. 6v6. They just made a huge hoopla yesterday about bringing loot boxes back. You know your goose is cooked. You know you are desperate when you are celebrating the return of loot boxes. Now, speaking of desperate, maybe you're desperate for love, and Valentine's Day is right.
Also, happy Valentine's Day. I don't like loot boxes.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I'm just saying, like, loot boxes are crazy, like, to celebrate bringing them back. But I think the way Overwatch did their loot boxes, they try to make it not as predatory, where I don't think you had to spend money for the loot boxes. It was just a gameplay mechanic.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering if it was kind of like how gacha games are, where you have to pay for certain items.
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but like no, the gacha mechanic was just in it, but it was more of a gacha mechanic for just getting items you wanted. But they took out the being able. I guess you could have still paid for it. I'm not sure. Like again, I don't play the game too much, and I never really watched people play the game either. I only watched the drama in it. So yeah, but yeah, I think that because I know they did that, or they had it that way because other countries were like, yeah, we're not. Other countries you can't play the game. It's banned in some other countries because of the loot box system. So I'm assuming you could pay for it at some way, but they in the gameplay you got it and stuff like that, so it wasn't as bad as like Genshin or Honkai Star Rail or something.
Right around the corner. Well, maybe the reason you don't have a Valentine is because you don't smell good. I'm just gonna hit you with cold water. You want to know how you fix that? You use Cheeky soap. Start smelling better. Our soap company, baby, it's the best in the world. And also for Valentine's Day, we're doing 10% off for the whole weekend. So starting today, everything's 10% off. Go to usecheeky.com, click the link in the description. 10% off. You're gonna feel the best you've ever felt after a shower. You're gonna smell the best you've ever felt, and you're gonna find love. I guarantee it. Now, as I mentioned, Overwatch is, at least to me, in a panicked state, trying to figure out what they can do to claw back some players, or keep whatever players they have left in their game instead of going to Rivals, which right now has all of the hype and all of the momentum.
See, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm pretty sure Rivals is the better game. So I don't know how Overwatch improving at all helps anybody, but cause, I mean, I guess it helps the people who want to play Overwatch. But I thought like just Rivals, even Rivals is just better, funner to watch for me too. Like I've seen Rivals gameplay, and I actually like watching it. But it may be just because I recognize the characters, so it's more relatable. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I can't watch an Overwatch game, but I'll watch the Rivals one. I think it's pretty cool. Niggas flying around and web swinging.
And their plan is basically just, hey, let's just dial everything back. Let's turn the clock back to when you guys liked Overwatch. You remember that? We're gonna do all of that again. Just ignore the 2 in the name. It's taking you back to the past to play a shitty game that sucks ass. It's just going from Overwatch 2 to Overwatch 1 again, but with more heroes now. And also, they did make a huge announcement with a large multitude of changes that are coming to the game. Some of them seem pretty big, like the introduction of perks and a third-person mode, as well as a slew of other changes, but they're pretty big, like more substantial than Overwatch is used to having, because they haven't needed to make any big changes, because it's been the only bully on the block in the hero shooter genre until Marvel Rivals, which has absolutely exploded. The game is huge. And most people really like the game, actually. It's been able to hold over 250,000 players on just Steam since its release. And it's not showing any signs of slowing down, with constant updates and constantly listening to community feedback. Like the other day, Marvel Rivals.
So this turned into a Marvel Rivals glow up real quick. But yeah, I mean, Overwatch sucks. Marvel Rivals is pretty cool. I do agree with this. I don't know why I paused it. I just felt like he was about to. He's been unpaused for a long time. I wanted to say something. I don't know. Bet, yeah.
Rivals rolled out this delusional brain dead idea of doing a mid-season rank reset that everyone was vocal about their disgust with, saying like, hey, you just blowing from stupid town? Can we not do this? And the devs heard.
Sorry, rank resets suck in every game. Don't ever reset my progress. I will never play a game that resets my progress. Never. That sucks. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're like, you're right. We won't do this. We're going to put away the Orb of Confusion, and we're not going to do that. Sorry. Like, that's great. If it was Overwatch, they would have rolled that out the next day just out of spite. Like, fuck you guys. Point is, Marvel Rivals has been absolutely biblically slapping Overwatch in the mainstream consciousness of hero shooters, and in player count as well. Overwatch player numbers on Steam are brutal in comparison to Rivals, but
I forgot Overwatch was a game until today when I saw about the loot boxes. I completely forgot about Overwatch till he was like, they're bringing the loot boxes back, and I'm like, that game still has players? I'm not gonna lie to you, I forgot about it.
I know a lot of people that like Overwatch, and I don't want to say that they're kind of nerds, but yeah, they're like,
I mean,
they don't know much about the good game aspect.
I mean, it's not bad to like Overwatch. It's a bad game compared to my Rivals, personally.
Yeah, Rivals seems like cool and something I would want to play.
Right. I would play Marvel Rivals longer than I would ever play Overwatch. Actually, like I said, I downloaded Marvel Rivals. I never downloaded Overwatch.
Yeah.
There are a large chunk of players for Overwatch that are on console, and that same is true for Rivals, where it is likely more people on Rivals than Overwatch. Point is, Rivals has been shoving Overwatch into the lockers. It has been putting its head in the toilet and swirling the game, and now, because of this competition, Overwatch is finally doing something to try and breathe life back into the game and
Fight back. Alright. He's like, fight back. Hey, you can't be giving them swirlies in the toilet, my guy. Gotta fight back. I don't know what Overwatch is gonna do, like, to get players back, though. There's no way they're gonna have anything come out other than maybe the things that they promised that will get people to, like, massively turn their attention back to Overwatch. I don't see it happening.
make a better product.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay, sorry.
So, we went over some of the changes on stream last night, and I think this is a great thing, both for Rivals and Overwatch. A new era of innovation and excitement. Loot boxes are back! It's so innovative, they've never tried that before. Not just the loot boxes, they're adding perks to the game similar to how Apex does it, and they're adding a Valorant-style game mode. Oh, wait, they're putting effort into it?
They were like, we saw this works across different genres, we're gonna implement these because we can. And but they're quick to do that, but they didn't just do the story mode. Like, I don't get it how they can like be like, you know, we're gonna say all these things we wanted the game to be, we're gonna scrap that and just go over here and steal some ideas from these people and see if that works. I wouldn't play Overwatch after that, but I guess y'all do y'all. I mean, I guess it's good that they're doing something, but that's disrespectfully crazy in my opinion.
Yeah.
Asinine, if you ask me.
No, why would they do that?
Heroes are about to get a whole lot more heroic with perks. Perks are here to completely redefine your strategy and how you play your favorite heroes. Think of them as hero-specific bonuses that level up.
This man dressed like he lost some money. He was like, I was gonna wear some slacks today, but they ain't paid me enough, so I threw the jeans on. And then the shirt too small on one side. It's crazy.
Stop.
I'm just joking, but like, I'm just saying.
Up your gameplay and not just your hero.
Oh
This means
shit!
you can
That is
customize
exactly
how
like
you play
Apex
in a
Legends,
match
yeah.
like never before.
My arm.
Oh, it's back! Yeah!
The spoils of victory.
Yes! Yeah!
Major perks are gameplay shifting additions to your hero's kit, changing your core loop and redefining
Tomorrow, Marvel
what your
Rivals
hero is
announced perks.
capable of. Let's look at an example now with Orisa.
Stadium is packed with
Here we go.
transformative powers and strategic encounters
third
that enhance
person.
the hero fantasy well beyond anything we've released.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that just didn't look fun to me, just watching that. It looked chaotic, and that man was shooting up and down at the same time. I don't know if that was, I don't know, we're not gonna talk about that. I've seen a couple of these gameplays, and that just looked like everybody was just told to attack each other in one. But I guess, I don't know if perks are gonna save the game. I was gonna say something else, but I lost it once I saw that thing shooting and missing. The little assassin guy. It bothered me.
This also includes the option to choose how you play in either a first person or an entirely new third person perspective from which to see more of the
Third person
battlefield and
hero shooters could
modifications
never
in
work. What are
action.
they smoking? Where would they even get that
To
idea
go into
from?
detail and really showcase what Stadium is all about,
Well, it looks like they're at least trying to do something with Overwatch now instead of just riding this complacency wave for the last fucking 5 years. That's competition, baby.
I will say that for like more defensive units or units that have bigger AoEs and bigger bodies, third person does seem like it would be very good. So you can make sure you can actually see the width of your character and like your attacks and things like that. I feel like that would be useful, but only in certain roles would that be useful, not in like. So I was like, if you like to play like a different, I don't know, I guess I was gonna say a sniper role, but I guess having more vision might be good for getting like stabbed in the back or something. But this game is very, everyone on the map you kind of can see for the most part. So like I don't think that really matters. I'm thinking of it more tactically than necessary, but yeah. I mean, third person is cool though. Just seems unnecessary for a lot of the roster, in my opinion.
That'll do it to you. I'm gonna be honest, not enough to get me back into Overwatch, but at least it's trying now. Took them this long to know they got competition. Well, they legitimately did not have competition until Rivals. They were able to just do whatever they wanted, and hero shooters would pop up and die within months. Till Rivals. Now they gotta try. You passed the free loot boxes part? Free loot boxes? Wait a minute. I may have spoke too soon. Free loot boxes? This will be good for both games. Hopefully this will be the start of Blizzard waking up and getting... Yeah. I mean, it is good for both games. 100%.
Yeah, I guess the loot boxes aren't free. I guess they do have, you do have to pay for them, so it is like a gotcha system. Or something.
Okay.
That's unfortunate, but I mean, I guess if you like that kind of system, then you might be happy about it. I wonder what Tectone thinks about Overwatch getting loot boxes. Again, if he even cares.
Make no mistake, these are big changes. Beyond the comical reintroduction of loot boxes, there are real meat and potatoes here. You know, like the stadium mode. Like, looking at the list here, the things that they're introducing, like, these are big. Stadium mode sounds like something that's got a lot of thought put behind it. Seems like it wants to be some kind of pseudo MOBA in Overwatch, so you're going to be earning currency and upgrading your heroes for the match. Seems like they want to put quite a focus on it too. They have like the third person option now as well. Like there are a lot of things they're trying.
Everything but story mode, crazy.
And just the fact that Overwatch for the first time in a long time is trying is a sign of just how good competition is for games and genuinely anything. When there is a monopoly, when there is something that has a stranglehold on an industry and nothing really threatens it, why would it ever have any incentive to do anything better? It can only ever get worse. That is why you as an Overwatch fan, or you as a Marvel Rivals fan, want each game to be doing well, because it's going to make your preferred game have to be better and improve and evolve. So I'm happy to hear this. It's not enough to get me back in the game. I'll probably continue to laugh at Overwatch for the blunder that is Overwatch 2, but I can't help but applaud them for finally putting some real effort into trying to make the game better.
I will say, for people who do like Overwatch, and for people who do play Overwatch, and for people who do want Overwatch to be a good, successful game, and that it's not a developer of the game or making money off of the game in some crazy type of way, I feel like, though, I mean, it's good for them. Anybody who is, I mean, playing the game is good for them. But I don't think this saves the game in the longer term. Like, they did like the biggest bait and switch I've ever seen with the neck snap. Like that was crazy. It was like, hey, if you come over here, we got cookies, and you got over there, and it was just a plate, and it was like, actually, we don't have cookies, and you actually have to pay for this plate because you looked at it. It's insane.
Mm.
And they're like, yeah, but now we're gonna put some asparagus and broccoli on the plate, and you're like, but I don't want that. And they're like, but it's food and you hungry, so you know you're gonna complain after you eat.
Yes. What are you eating, Air?
Asparagus and broccoli, I think I said.
Mm.
And you still gotta pay for the plate. Yeah, you wanted cookies, you got asparagus and broccoli, and they was like, be glad you got to eat some food. I guess cookies isn't the right analogy because because the food is food and it's probably nutritious, but you know what I'm saying. Goddamn.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hope that these changes are good changes for the game. So yeah, Overwatch is desperate, and they should be. And from this desperation, hopefully a diamond will be forged, and Overwatch can somehow return to its former glory and be really good again. We'll see. That's really about it. So yeah. Competition is a...
Yeah. That was by the Charlie. I agree. That was cool. I actually did want to just see what he had to say about that because I wasn't sure about how the loot boxing situation was working, but I'm not a fan that they brought it back. I actually liked the fact that they got rid of it the first time. I thought that was healthy for the game world as a whole. But I mean, I guess they're bringing it back mainly because they're like we care more about our pockets than we care about the state of the gaming world. So I hope it works. I hope people come back and can look at all the characters' butts now with their 3D models.
Yeah, that's another thing that everybody was like excited for at the beginning of the game. About the fact that, sometimes the women characters have amazing figures, butts to be exact.
No, they just trying to look at that gorilla booty.
And like,
I don't know his name. I'm sorry. And then they had it first person, so all you could see was the gun you were holding and your fingers.
Yeah, that's all you would see. But now, since they're doing it in third person, do you think it would be a little bit harder to like mechanic a little bit?
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of those, like, you can't have those type of games and the shooting mechanics and have it where you take the angle and move it over here and think that you're still gonna be able to hit targets effectively. That's the big issue of why you don't want to be like third person and over the shoulder with it.
Yeah.
But it can, like, well, that's what I was saying for the defensive characters, when you don't really need to be shooting at something. If you need to like throw up a wall, or you need to look at like around corners, like if you need to like tactically, third person is good. But
right.
in a firefight, it doesn't really help you when you just need to shoot at a target and the camera's in a different angle than the way you're shooting at. It throws your brain off a little bit.
Yeah, because that would be really hard to mechanic. You wouldn't try to like...
Right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't see how that helps unless you have like unless you're going for like a physical type of, I'm running around the map just slicing people or punching people. Or if you have like, I'm putting up defensive shields and I need to know where my turrets or stuff is at. Like, but like, other than tactically, you can. But I guess if you can go in and out of it, you can use it.
Oh, yeah, that
Fine.
would be different.
Yeah, if you can just go in and out of third person, then you're fine. I don't think there's a big deal on that, because then when you're using those type of moves, you go third person to make sure. I don't think people would do that, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense. I like it. It's a good thing. It's just, it's like I said. It's like you can't promise somebody something, and then they get there based on those promises, and then you go, well, actually, screw all of that. Let's go over here now. And then you expect people to, like, shift with you when you're making drastic turns like that. Like, momentum and inertia don't work that way. So
I think you would overall. I think even if the game becomes bad, it'll still have people who enjoy it, who
yeah.
need to play the bad games, I guess.
Hopefully, this brings them. Because that's the thing I'm saying. I don't want them to die, because then Marvel Rivals becomes the pinnacle, and then they would get to set the standard. And if they get too power hungry, they'll start doing the same thing Overwatch tried to do, and thinking that people are gonna stick around when you're like setting yourself on fire.
Yeah, really.
So, but like, it's just hard to tell, because like, I want Overwatch to do good, so then they'll be good. But like, I don't even see why Marvel Rivals is even considering Overwatch as a competitor. Personally, if I was Marvel Rivals, I wouldn't be worried about Overwatch. Personally, but seeing that they're doing good could be good for publicity. I guess they could even like collab or something. Maybe I don't think they'd do that, but Marvel don't like to do a lot of. I don't see Marvel going out of their way to be collabing with too many people, but maybe. I just don't see it. I don't see it as competition right now, but they're trying to be competition, which is great. In the world of business, I feel like it's a great move, but I feel like what would actually make them come back is if they would have, instead of these announcements, they would have said, "Hey, we're reversing our reverse on the reverse, and we're going to Uno, flip that, and here's story mode." I think it'll bring a lot of people in. But, because I honestly, I only actually cared about it, Overwatch, because of the character stories. I wanted to learn about the characters. And then they were like, yeah, we don't care about the characters. And they were like, I was like, oh, that was as far as I went with Overwatch. And it was like, oh, Overwatch 2 is going to have story mode. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to learn the story of all these characters and to see the lore and all. And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, never, no, damn. Okay, cool. So, I have zero faith in Overwatch pulling this one out. I feel like something else is going to come out, and Marvel Rivals is going to fight with them, and Overwatch is going to watch two big kids fight the playground. That's what I think is going to happen. While they just kicking sand on his castle because they fighting. That's what I think. But, you know, that's what I see happening. I don't see Overwatch doing much, but we'll see.
Right.
That was that. I know I've been yapping, the yapperer. But yeah, that was a good video. Voice Critical, Penguin Zero, and Overwatch.
Peace.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if y'all think Overwatch is gonna become a competitor eventually, or I don't see it. Alright. I'll catch you guys on the side with the flip. I never do my flip right.
Me neither.
It's alright, it's weird.